Hello, and welcome to the Future Energy Perspectives interview, brought to you today by Power Engineering International and Siemens Energy. Today, we're talking energy storage, and to take a deep dive into the subject, I'm joined by Dr. Holger Wolfschmidt, who is Senior Portfolio Manager for Energy Storage at Siemens Energy. Holger, thanks for joining me today, and welcome.
Many thanks for inviting me, Kevin.
You're very, very welcome. Holger, you've said that by and large, energy storage doesn't get the public attention it deserves. Why do you think that is, and what could be done to change it?
The good message upfront: storage systems are like a Swiss knife. Yeah, so they are multifunctional. They are precise electrical tools. You can solve a lot of issues in the grid and in the, let's say, in the full electrical system. But this is also maybe a small problem because it's hard to understand what exactly is, and it's also hard to classify these kind of new assets, yeah? And hard to understand and hard to classify normally creates pushbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a need. There's a need to be done, and the first need is education. Yeah, so it can be overcome by education. This means talking to the guys and educate all the people around what's needed in the field of storage. There's also a need of a clear framework, rules, regulation, laws, incentives to be set in a precise and right way. And of course, there's the market need, yeah, to open the market and let these assets play in the market to be successful there. And I think the most strongest incentive or topic or driver you can create is put storage already in the planning phases, in the planning of microgrids, in the planning of grid developments plan. So make it as a really asset already in the upfront planning system.
We'll come to the right political and financial framework and measures that you just touched on there in a bit.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about batteries and the rare elements in them. Because you've touched on that in your article. And I wonder, will the issue of rare elements in batteries stall the potential of batteries, perhaps in the near term? And is this an issue that will be overcome in the perhaps longer term? And if so, how?
Great question, Kelvin. Great questions. I don't think that there will be big issues, to be honest. There are rare materials in, you're totally right. There are critical elements also in, but there's also a lot of R&D and development work done to overcome this issue. And sustainability and recycling are key topics at the moment to play in this field. And I think this is perfectly addressed. Yeah, there's a lot of work to do, of course, but it's not just going the blind side forward and make anything stuff. It's sustainable, it's recycling incorporated already. So I don't think that they are major hurdles.
And one of the hottest topics in the energy sector at the moment is hydrogen. Everyone's talking about hydrogen. What is hydrogen's potential in energy storage, and what needs to be done to reach that potential, and what are the challenges it has at the moment, and perhaps those it'll have in the future too?
Hydrogen is a great energy carrier. So you can store and transform electricity to hydrogen in a great way. There's a chance to use it, of course. There's a chance, of course, to re-electrify hydrogen to electricity back again. But there's also the big chance to utilize the sector coupling idea in the field of hydrogen. So utilize hydrogen then to mobility sectors or industry sectors, or also use hydrogen in the chemical production, let's say. The need, or the most important need, is of course to produce hydrogen in a green way. Yeah, this I think is the most important starting point, and with this, great energy carrier.
And so for those things to happen, you've talked about the need for the right political and financial measures to be in place to ease the energy transition to a more sustainable energy system. These political and financial measures, do you see them already happening? Are they already evolving? But presumably you don't see them evolving quickly enough. So what can be done to accelerate them?
So you're all right what you stated, yeah? So they are partially accepted. I think they are too slow. There needs a bigger push from a political point of view. They are the first early incorporation, what I stated within the planning phases, yeah, that you have beginning from the early stuff. So it's in the beginning, but it should be faster, also a little bit more pragmatic in my point of view. So really just go one step further, yeah, and try it out. And what you already mentioned, it comes to the financial, yeah. So there are two ways, yeah. The clear way forward is to give a clear statement that you can earn money for a longer time, so clear benefits with long-term contracts, or at least what it's a need that you have the chance with the capability as a real asset, or with a fixture in the laws and regulation that you can place your asset in also in the future market. So there's something to do. Otherwise, of course, it's only a throwback at the developers. Yeah, so they need some ideas and the clear pathway forwards to do it. And this is the good thing. This is happening already. And I wanted to cite US, for example. Yeah, this is successful storage in US going forward, and also setting some targets. Yeah, which I think is great. UK is also a success story, quite a liberal market approach, but also going forward and making storage. Italy designing some capacity markets, so also step forwards. And in Germany, for example, the tender or innovation tenders, which were put out to combine combine renewables with storage. Huh? But the most important thing which is missing is often the transfer, the link and education between these markets. Yeah? So really get the interconnect and what can be done better and faster.
Mm-hmm. And so against that backdrop that you've just described, what's the first of all, what's the low-hanging fruit for energy storage in just perhaps the next year or two?
I would be happy to have a lot of low-hanging fruits in the field of storage. Yeah, this is at the moment a little bit challenging. Yeah, so low-hanging fruits means to deal with supply chain constraints. Low-hanging fruits means to deal with raw materials price increase and transport issues, and also with geopolitical impacts. Yeah, so unfortunately, the next 1 or 2 years will be tough ways forwards. So really tough, but the market is playing, which is a good sign. And a little bit also looking into the future, the interest is tremendously high in storage. So it's market interest, it's a tremendous high customer interest. And what's also done on an industry side, there's a massive ramp up in production facility. So the signs are all in the right directions, but the low-hanging fruits are tough to gather in the next 1 or 2 years.
You talked about looking to the future there, so let's look to the future. If all these elements that we've discussed already fall into place, what will be the storage game changer in, say, the next decade or so? Where will storage make the biggest manifest difference?
Storage will play an incremental role in different energy systems or energy designs in the future. So no doubt about that there will be a storage need. There will be a lot of developments left and right coming. There will be developments coming together to new product, to ideas. There will be new ideas. I just call it solid state developments in the batteries. There will be new materials. There will be big jumps in recycling and sustainability. There will be also new elements coming up, maybe in the field of sodium-based batteries or in the redox flow-based batteries. So there's a lot of development ongoing. There are a lot of startup ongoing, industry and university research, and also with institutes. So there will be, I think, big steps forwards. There will be, I think, also game changers, which will even accelerate the whole storage business in future.
And in your day-to-day work with storage, what's the one thing that you are most excited about?
I love the field of storage. I think it's an element, as I made in the beginning statement. It's like a Swiss knife, yeah. It's like multifunctional. It will solve a lot of big issues. It's super flexible. You can really utilize it. So this makes me really exciting, and it makes me also each and every day exciting that the surroundings are excited. So suppliers are excited, customers are excited. We are here excited in the interviews. The topic is excited. It's broad. It's tremendously growing, yeah? And this growth is also a pure kind of excitement to me. And the best thing I think as conclusion is there's a real need, and the need makes me even more excited because it's understood that storage is such a great element in the energy system.
You're absolutely right. Storage is such an interesting topic. It's innovating all the time. It's not a new technology. People are understanding its capabilities, and that, you're right, makes it a very, very interesting topic, particularly in the way it is continually developing and advancing. Dr. Wolfschmidt, thank you so much for joining us today. For this deep dive into energy storage. For those of you watching, I would urge you to take an even deeper dive into it. To do please catch up with Dr. Wolfschmidt's article, which is available on Power Engineering International as part of our Future Energy Perspective series with Siemens Energy. And I look forward to joining you again for the next interview in the series. So once again, Dr. Wolfschmidt, thank you very much for joining us today.
It was a pleasure to talk with you, Kelvin. Many thanks.
Thank you.